kilometers it was, but the couple of guys, the couple of Israelis, which took us, were supposed to take us over, they said, first he wants to take all the young boys, young guys, you know, see if it was a road through there, and if it's not too deep, the snow and that stuff. So he organized about, I don't know, maybe 30 boys or 35 boys, and we took our stuff and we started to walk through, and it looked like it was a road already, you know, the plow was already through. So he went back, one of the guys went back while we waited about a kilometer, and he took the girls also. He figured that it's going to be all right, and he didn't want to come back all the way from Germany to bring the girls over. So he went over, he got the girls. We were all maybe in the group about 60. And the Czech border guards were already spoken to, and they let us through. It was no problem. But as soon as we came over the border, the German border, there were a couple of German soldiers, and they were already spoken to, and they let us through. All of a sudden, U.S. MPs came and they stopped us, and they didn't. They wanted us to go back. In other words, they were not. They didn't know that we were allowed to go into Germany, and they were really bad guys, and they didn't want to listen. You know, anything what these two Israelis were explaining them, that we're going to go to a displaced person camp to emigrate from there, wherever. They didn't tell them to Israel, and they didn't tell them that they were Israelis. They said that they were just part of the group to go into the displaced person camp. Well, the MPs wouldn't listen. So these two guys told the MPs that if they don't listen, that they'll be taken care of, because they carried guns with them. And they showed them the guns, and they drew the guns, and they said, if you don't believe, you know, what I'm telling you, we want you to call the headquarters here to this and this general, and you'll find out that we were allowed to go into Germany. So at first they didn't want to do it, but then they decided, you know, instead of getting into a fight, that they would call. So when they called the headquarters, the general wasn't there. So nobody knew anything about it except the general. So we had to wait until the general came along and called back. Not only that he called back, but he sent trucks to pick us up and take us into one of the headquarters, which we had to go in and register, and from there we were assigned to a displaced person camp. So that's what happened. You know, we waited until you know, the trucks came and they took us to this headquarters. As soon as we came into the headquarters, there were already pictures of Ben-Gurion and Chaim Weizmann and Israeli government people, and there were also food and all kinds of rationing, and the Israeli flag was there already, so we knew, you know, we are liberated there. And from there, they took us by trucks into the displaced person camp which we were assigned. Our group, the whole group, was assigned to Gabazay. And that was a camp with buildings which was taken over. It used to be a mentally ill hospital, and the Germans evacuated that somewhere else, and they gave us the whole, not the whole camp, or the hospital, mentally ill hospital, they gave it to us. And there were a lot of buildings, and we were assigned to different buildings. I was in the, there were like A, B, C, D, alphabet, by alphabet, the buildings went. So we were assigned to Block C, which was a 3-story building, and we were assigned rooms like, in a room there could be 6 or 8 people. And I was assigned in Block C to a room with 3 sisters and a brother and 3 cousins. And one other guy. We were actually not related to them, but I was assigned there, and a friend and another guy was assigned to the same room. And what we did, we divided the room just with like a curtain, and the girls were sleeping on one side, and we were sleeping on bunks on the other side. And we got very friendly with these people. It was just like sisters and brothers, and they were doing whatever they could in cooking for us, and the laundry for us, and, whatever, the cleaning and everything else. But I was there maybe a couple of months, and then my sister got in touch with me. She was in another camp, displaced person camp in Fehrenwald, and I went to visit them. When I went to visit them, I got friendly. I met a guy, and I got friendly with him. He was a dentist from Poland. And we got to talking that I am a dental technician, and he would open up an office, and I could be the dental technician, the lab, run the lab, and he could do the, the whatever it has to be done, root canals or teeth building or whatever, So that's what happened. I was doing the lab work, and he was doing the dentistry. And we were doing very well. We were very, very busy. I could work day and night. That's how busy I was, because the people who were emigrating, when they were going through the papers, to go whatever country they wanted to go, or they could go, they had to have healthy teeth. So they were coming to us, and we were doing the teeth, and I was very, very busy. Some nights I didn't even go to sleep, and some nights I used to have like a little roll, what do you call those beds?
Oh, cot.
A cot. I used to have a cot, and I used to just lay down for a couple of hours because I was just too exhausted. So I used to lay down for a couple of hours and then do some more work. And I was doing that until I got the papers to go to the United States, which was in 1949, early in 49. I stopped working, and I went back to Garbeze. But while I was working in Fehrenwald, I still went to Garbeze, like every 2 weeks for a weekend, or maybe once a month. And I used to make so much money. I used to have suitcases with money. And when I used to come to Garbeze, I used to give to my friends